And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kin Sporting Goods in Norco, #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. And Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust. Welcome everyone to the Inland Sports Show. Before we start the show, make sure you like this video and you've subscribed to the Inland Sports Show YouTube channel. And if you're a local business or organization and you'd like to promote yourself on this show, just send us an email, inlandsportsshow@gmail.com. The show starts right now. Garcia's left-footed. And what is up, everybody? Welcome to an at-home edition of the Inland Sports Show. My name is Pep Fernandez. We appreciate you tuning in on this Wednesday night. Big shout out to our director, Johnny Nunez, who is actually in Las Vegas right now at the big broadcasting convention. So I hope Johnny's having a good time, and hopefully he comes back with some cool new tricks or some toys for the Inland Sports Show to even ramp it up to the next level. So anyways, at-home edition tonight, but we still got some really great interviews and some things that we want to talk about going on here in the Inland Empire. It's that time of the season as high school baseball and softball teams begin trying to make a run at league championships, trying to get into a playoff position. Well, in the land of the Big Eight, and you know we love Big VIII League baseball, there's a huge series this week between Corona and Santiago. Well, on Monday, Corona won in a walk-off. And then on Tuesday, the Sharks came back around and they picked up a close victory, 3-1 the final score. So now the rubber match is coming up tomorrow on Thursday at Corona High School. And, well, wouldn't you know it, that's our Kin Sporting Goods must-see game. Thursday at the Wilk, it's Corona hosting Santiago. And right now the Panthers are 2 games up on the Sharks for first place in the Big VIII League. So this is a very important game. Santiago's going to have to win this one if they want to stay in the mix for a league championship. But if Corona can win this one, they might just take the whole thing outright when it's all said and done, because there's only a handful of games left in league play. And we're going to have the number ones, the Aces, going head-to-head. Nick Lewis for Santiago and Ethan Schiffelbein for Corona. So a fantastic pitching matchup. 1 run, 2 runs might win it. And that's our Kin Sporting Goods must-see game this week. Corona closing in on another Big VIII League championship, but Santiago trying to keep the door open, but they'll need to win on Thursday. Right now, we're going to hear from head coach Ty De Trinidad of the Sharks as Santiago, again, trying to stay in the mix for a Big VIII League championship, trying to stay in the top half of the Big VIII League just to punch their ticket to the postseason. And it's a battle. We know it's a battle in the Big VIII League just to get to the playoffs. But once you get to the postseason, these Big VIII League schools, they can make a run all the way to a CIF title. So here is Sharks head coach Ty De Trinidad. And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show because we love to talk Big VIII League baseball. It is the skipper for Santiago, Ty De Trinidad, join us here on the show. Coach, man, so many great rivalry games, so many great matchups in the Big VIII League. There are absolutely no days off in the Big VIII League. I know you have a big 3-game series this week with Corona. You guys split the first 2 games. You got 1 more coming up. Coach, what can you say about this year's team? Because I know you've played a lot of good teams. Maybe the record doesn't show it, but you've played a lot of good teams, and you've got some good wins too.
Yeah, it's the record isn't showing how we've played, but anybody that's been around the Big Eight and seen all the teams along with ourselves, even our losses have been tough. If not one run, if not two runs, we're right in the thick of things. But that's the Big Eight for you. Our overall record's 11-11, and yet we're right here, trailing Corona by 2 games. So it's never over till it's over. It's going to come down to the last week, obviously with a few teams there. So no days off. You couldn't have said it any better.
So Tuesday, you get a 3-1 win against first place Corona, and then rewinding all the way back to Monday, I think you said you were 1 out. I don't know if it was one pitch, but I think you were 1 out away from maybe even winning that game on Monday, in which they won on a walk-off.
Yeah, so basically it was 2 outs, nobody on, 3-2 lead. We had a 2-2 count, went to a full count. The young man hit a good pitch over the fence to tie it up, and then they got the next guy on and won it on a walk-off. That's how close the game was and turning things around. But that's baseball. And with that being said, we had less than 24 hours to pout about it and get back on the field with those guys, because they're not going to let you off the hook that quick.
That's my next question, Coach. Is obviously that was a tough loss, but your guys were able to regroup and get dialed in and refocused to come out on Tuesday and get the win. I mean, it's easy to probably just fold up and be like, man, that was a deflating loss. We're not going to get this game today. But no, you guys battled back. You got a close win, a 3-1 ball game.
Yeah, it was tough. I mean, to be honest with you, it was after the game. It was almost, I looked at my guys and said, I wish I had the words to make you feel better, but it's not. And unfortunately, we have to flush that as soon as possible, because if we're not, it's going to come get us tomorrow, and which was today. And the boys got after it. They responded and did a good job. So now it gets us down to the rubber match on Thursday. So
I think Corona's 9-2, and you guys are 7-4 in Big VIII League play. Does that sound right? Yeah,
7-4, and they might be. Yeah, 9-2 sounds about right.
Okay, so if you guys can win on Thursday, you win the 3-game series. You close within a game, so you still need a little bit of help. Yes. At the end of Big VIII League play, but at least at this time of the year, Coach, just to play meaningful games, right? To have a chance to maybe still win a league title, get to the playoffs. Like, it's fun, right? This time of the year to have those meaningful games.
Absolutely, and that's the one thing I tell our guys. There's 3 seasons. There's the preseason, regular season, and of course you're playing to get to that postseason, and it comes down to the end. Even last year, we were our backs were against the wall where we needed to win at least 2 out of 3 from King, and fortunately we were able to sneak in and get there and make a run even deep in the playoffs. And I think you're going to see between Norco, Centennial, ourselves, and Corona, no one's going to let up off the gas pedal for the next 2 weeks, and that's where you want to be. You don't want to be in meaningless games. You want to be in meaningful games, and that's what it's going to come down to. It's a game of attrition, and the strongest will survive, hopefully, that are strong the next 2 weeks.
So, Coach, we were texting a little bit off air, but you were saying that the Aces are going on Thursday, right, in the rubber match between the Panthers and the Sharks. Can you talk about your pitcher and who's the ace for Corona as well that you're going to be facing?
Absolutely. Well, they've got multiple aces, but Ethan Schiefelbein is going to be their guy that comes up, and he's the same young man who hit the home run to tie the game up on Monday. And we're going, he's going to UCLA, and we have Nick Lewis going for us, he's going to LMU. And he's been our guy all year and done a great job. So it's going to be a good matchup. I think you're going to see a lot of guys getting out, and it's going to come down to who executes and who doesn't flinch last. I always say,
Coach, we've had a couple different Big VIII League coaches on the show this season, and we do every year. But it's kind of like the same thought that, hey, if you can survive the Big VIII League and make the playoffs, then you feel, regardless of your playoff division, you feel like you got a good chance to make a deep run in CIF. But the first things first, you got to survive the Big VIII League. We were just talking about all the great teams up and down. Like, there's no days off. I mean, what was kind of your message to your guys in terms of, obviously you want to play for a league championship, but just at least finish in the top 3 and get one of those, automatic spots to the postseason?
Sure. No, and we going into spring break, which we had 2 weeks off, we finished up pretty strong. We did get clipped up. We were 6-3, and I told our guys we're in a good spot, but be warned that after these 2 weeks, it's coming down to the gauntlet. Basically, the next 2 weeks, you can either go into a tailspin and not recover, or you can fight to the end, and that's always been the case since I've been at Santiago. I don't think we've ever had a week where the end of the year meant nothing to us, where there was always a fighting chance. And like I said, this week we had Corona, next week King, and King is starting to surge, getting themselves on track. And that's just no easy task for anybody, so that was the message. Tell our guys, hey, one game at a time, one pitch at a time. and let's just stay in the moment that we can and control what we can. As long as you have a chance to control it, I think you have a good opportunity.
You know, Coach, I didn't know this. You were telling me you're also the assistant AD at Santiago High School. So you're wearing a lot of hats. I'm sure you're a very, very busy guy. How is that going, juggling, several different things going on at once?
It's quite busy. I like it. I mean, that's who I am. Everybody that knows me, I don't sit still for a minute. But, between teaching honors language arts and being the assistant athletic director and running the baseball team, it keeps you busy. I mean, even when I got at home, I had a couple of phone calls from other sports, in our school saying, hey, asking questions and whatnot, or can you send this contract here? So it's a never ending job. My phone's always on. So I'm taking a break. Love talking with you. So that's a good thing.
And you still got to find time. I don't know about you. Like, for example, I've got a pretty big backyard. It's not landscape, so it always needs like weed eating. So I love to just go out there. I put my phone down. Like, I don't check my phone for a couple hours. I just go out and weed eat, have a good time. Do you just love to hey, I'm going to go hop on the riding lawnmower. I'm going to go take care of the yard. When I say yard, I mean the baseball field, of course, at Santiago. And just, hey, I'm going to disconnect for a little bit.
It's funny you should say that, because anybody that knows me in the league knows I'm on that thing 24/7, and that is if you stop me, you better have a great question for me, because if not, I'm either going to run you over or let you know that you're disturbing my Zen time, because I spend a lot of time on that field, and I love it. That's my quiet time. And even at home, I'm starting to learn what tools are all about. So I'm buying these tools, which I don't know how to use yet, but it sounds cool. So we're going with it. So I try to stay busy.
Well, Coach, listen, I know it's late. I appreciate your time. Thank you for jumping on the show. That was a big win against Corona. Just wanted to give you a couple minutes to highlight the Sharks a little bit. And again, a big game coming up on Thursday, the rubber match in this Big VIII League series that you guys push for a league title and in a postseason spot. I think you guys are in a good spot because you're battle-tested. You played some good teams.
We have, and that's the nice thing. Even, we came out of the Darryl Kyle tournament and the Boris tournament, although we lost a couple of walk-offs there. I told our guys we're better for it. We're better for it because we've learned some things, and even Monday's loss was tough and hard to swallow. But, like you said, we're going to be better for it in the next 2 weeks, and hopefully we come ready to go.
All right, Coach. Always appreciate the time. That is Ty De Trinidad, the head baseball coach at Santiago. Also the assistant AD. Don't forget about that. He wears a lot of hats. Coach, thank you again. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely. Thanks you, Pep. Always good chatting.
And that was Ty De Trinidad, the skipper for the Santiago Sharks. Let's keep it in the land of the Big Eight, specifically for baseball, as we have our Big Boost play of the week. Inland Sports. Take a look at this one, land of the Big Eight, King versus Roosevelt. King starting pitcher Mason Swan would go 6 innings, and then Austin Castillo would come in the 7th inning for the save as the two pitchers, Swan and Castillo, combine on a no-hitter against the Mustangs. King wins 3-zip on the no-no from Mason Swan and Austin Castillo in Big 8 League play. It's a big win for King in no-hitter fashion. That's our Big Boost play of the week. Congratulations, guys. All right, when we come back here on the Inland Sports Show at Home edition, when we come back, we're going to talk some football. One of our high school football stars who is now at USC has a big fundraiser coming up this weekend. We have an exclusive interview with Justin Dedich coming up next here on the Inland Sports Show. And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Kin Sporting Goods in Norco. #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. And Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust.
Hey guys, this is Jason at Ken Sporting Goods. We're almost to 1,000 Instagram followers. Tell your friends, like us, come down and see us. Thank you so much for your loyalty.
What up, y'all? Boostman here with a quick nutrition 2 cent. Did you know in order to add 1 pound of lean muscle, you need to introduce at least 2,500 calories to your diet weekly? So, if you're looking to add some lean muscle, the best way to do this is to add 400 extra calories a day for men and 300 extra calories a day for women. And if you're looking to lose body fat, simply subtract those same amount of calories from your diet daily. Your boy, Boostman.
The Inland Sports Show is proud to partner with Dr. Marcus Paulson and Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Dr. Paulson and his team work with children, teens, and adults using orthodontic products like traditional braces and Invisalign to make a difference in the appearance, comfort, and function of each patient's teeth. Paulson Orthodontics welcomes new patients, so schedule a visit today. Paulson Orthodontics. We make braces fun.
The In-N-Out Burger Cover-to-Cover Reading Club is available at the San Bernardino Public Library. In-N-Out has sponsored this program for children ages 4 to 12. To participate, children must read 5 books, bring in their reading log, their book receipt, and then they can receive a prize for a free hamburger or cheeseburger from In-N-Out. Each child can do this up to 3 times. This program will run from March 4th through April 15th, and only books checked out from the San Bernardino Public Library and read during this time period can count toward the program. For more information, please contact the library at 909-381-8201. Thank you.
And welcome back to the Inland Sports Show at Home Edition. I'm your host, Pep Fernandez, talking some football right now. This guy was a high school star here in the IE at Chaparral High School, went on to USC. He's back for another season as the starting center for the Trojans, hiking the ball to the Heisman Trophy winning quarterback, Caleb Williams. We're talking about the one and only, the pride of Chaparral, Justin Dedich. And he's got a big fundraiser coming up this Sunday at Temecula Valley Buick GMC. That is Sunday, April 23rd, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m. There's going to be a car wash, a charity car wash with proceeds benefiting the Chaparral Pumas football program. Justin and some of his offensive linemen at USC will be there pulling trucks. Yes, it's something he said he adopted in his off-season training program to pull trucks. He's that strong, and I guess it works for him. He's an O-lineman. He's a big, strong guy, so he's going to be pulling some trucks. They're going to have some food trucks out there as well, so great food, some games, and a whole lot of fun. So go check that out. That's this Sunday. Justin Dedich at Temecula Valley Buick GMC. We had a chance to talk to Justin about this big fundraiser, his time at Chaparral, and of course going back to USC for an extra season. He got afforded an extra season because of COVID. Everyone got another year of eligibility if they chose to. Well, Justin chose to, so he's back with USC, and then who knows, maybe the NFL after that. Here is Justin Dedich. And now join us here on the Inland Sports Show. Man, we've had this guy on the show for a long, long time. We've been talking about this guy for a long, long time. He is the pride of Chaparral. He is the starting center for USC, and he is now here on the Inland Sports Show, Justin Dedich. And Justin, first off, man, there's so much I want to talk to you about. USC, you got a big fundraiser coming up this weekend. But also, man, Chaparral had a great season last year. Do you still follow the Pumas even though you're at USC doing your thing with the Trojans?
Yeah, I do. I talk to Raymer quite frequently and stuff, and so I am very well connected with how they're doing, and I'm wishing them all the best.
Yeah, they had a really great year this past season, so very excited to see where Chaparral's going. Also very excited to see what you're doing. You're back for another season at USC. I know you just had the big spring football game. How excited are you about going into another year, with Lincoln Riley as the head coach? You got Cliff Kingsbury on staff now. You got the Heisman Trophy winner that you're snapping the football to. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I feel like expectations are huge right now for the Trojans.
Yeah, I mean, I'm super grateful for COVID because it allowed me this extra year of eligibility and to get this opportunity to play with, like you said, Coach Riley and then Cliff Kingsbury and Caleb Williams. It's like something you dream of as a child. It's one of those fairy tale stories, and so I'm just excited to be a part of it.
Yeah, I mean, obviously USC is back on that national map, and I know a lot of local fans here in the Inland Empire are very excited about that to see what they're going to do this upcoming season, especially having local guys like yourself on the Trojans. But Justin, man, you got a big event coming up this Sunday, Temecula Valley Buick GMC. It's going to be a fundraiser for Chaparral High School football, but you got all kinds of stuff. You're going to have food trucks. You're going to have a trailer pool, which I'm going to ask you about in just a second because I want to know more about that. But why is it important to you to, go back to where you're from, remember your roots, give back to the Pumas?
Yeah, I think it's just always important to stay humble and never become better than something or someone. It's important for you to give back to the community and show love, because without that, I wouldn't be where I am today, without Coach Raymer, Coach Hess, a lot of those guys there at Chaparral. Without them, I wouldn't be here at USC. And so I think it's really important that I give back to that community and to that school, because they set me up really well for the rest of my life.
So there's going to be a charity car wash to benefit the Chaparral High School football program. There's also the trailer pool. So what exactly does that mean? Is it people are going to show up on Sunday at Temecula Valley Buick GMC and watch you pulling trailers, or what's going to happen out there?
Well, I got two of my teammates coming and myself, and we're just mostly going to hang out there and just say what's up and get to meet everyone, and people get their car washed. Maybe wash a few cars myself. Eat some food, and then I think we're gonna do it. We are gonna do a truck pool, just old time's sake. Something I did during COVID that was always fun and people find entertaining. And I think they got this big rig they got all hooked up, and so I'm gonna go ahead and pull that for GMC, and just hoping to get a great turnout and a really the sport. It's all going to Chaparral, and I'm just excited for it on Sunday.
Listen, I've seen enough pictures and videos on social media to know that you're an animal, especially in the off season, like doing all kinds of drills and training. Like, you're relentless with that kind of stuff. But pulling trucks, pulling trailers, I mean, throwing huge tires around, like whatever can get you stronger, right? You're down for.
Yeah, you sometimes in football, doing the normal stuff can get a little boring or stale, and so you want to try and spice it up a little bit. But the whole truck pull thing started during COVID, actually, with my old strength coach, and we wanted to try and get something that would bring team camaraderie, and it's something that kind of has just stuck with me for the last few years, and so I'm excited to do it on Sunday.
Justin, let's talk about USC again for a moment. So, you're going into your final season with the Trojans. What's kind of your expectations for the team going into this year, considering how good you guys were last year? You got the Heisman Trophy quarterback back. You've got a great head coach and, great staff there. I mean, I feel like USC is ready to, join that. You guys were so close in joining that national, 4-team semifinals for the national championship.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the goal is the national championship. I think we got good momentum last year for being a year one program. It's something that we take a lot of pride in. Not a lot of people can go from 4-8 to 11-3 in 1 year, and so I think just the culture of our program now and the buy-in from all the players and staff is just huge, and it's something that everyone could see, and I think, the goal is a national championship, especially with this crew that we got. We got a lot of veterans, a lot of experience, and just a wealth of knowledge in the sport of football. And so I'm excited for this season and what we can do.
Justin, you mentioned that extra year of eligibility that COVID, offered college athletes, and obviously you took it up. How much fun are you having? I mean, how fun is that college experience playing at USC, one of the premier big brands in college football across the country? But yeah, I mean, obviously, you could have maybe tested the waters, professional football, but you're like, you know what, I'm gonna go back and play for the Trojans another year. This is a fun deal.
Yeah, I mean, a big thing now, is NIL, that whole space. That was a big. Obviously, Coach Riley and his staff and my position coach, Josh Henson, were a big reason why I came back as well. I wanted to play for this team again because I feel like I've developed a lot as a player. Thought I had previously, but there was so much more talent and skill I had in me that they're pulling out. And so I'm excited to be a part of that. But, with the NIL space and then being able to give back to the community, I think that was also another big reason as to why I came back. Because it's just something that can benefit me in my life and my family's life.
Yeah, there's some great opportunities now. It's kind of a brand new world in college football, which might be more lucrative than going in as an undrafted free agent to the NFL or something like that right now. So,
yeah, exactly.
But beyond USC, I mean, do you want to play professional football? Is coaching in your future? I mean, you're gonna be like, Raymer's, heir apparent, or I mean, like, what's your plans for the future?
Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping. I had a great year last year. I'm hoping to get another good one under my belt, and even better, obviously. And then try and I'm going to train and God willing, get into the NFL. And then coaching wise, I don't know if I can coach football. Maybe I'll come back around to it, but whenever I'm done with it, I'll probably step away for a little bit, and then I'll probably miss it. So, but yeah, I wish I could join Raymer. Maybe I'll go join his strength staff and make him lift or something, because he's got tiny little calves he needs to grow.
I see him. I see him in the gym, like throwing some weight around, but he doesn't work on the legs though, right? He skips the leg day.
No, he does. Coach Hess for strength coach and him get after it all the time. We always make fun of him for his calves, because when I first came there, he had little toothpicks. So,
well, Justin, let me ask you, education-wise, you have another year at USC. Were you able to, I don't know, double major, get a master's degree? What are you studying? Like, how's that been going?
Yeah, I'm actually working on my master's at the moment. I finished my undergrad fall of 21, I believe, 2021. So, or spring of 2022, one of the two. So I've been able to do a master's program for now, about 2 semesters. And then, I'll walk out of here with my master's degree, which is unbelievable. That's something. Yeah, NFL is great and everything, but everyone's football career is going to end one day. And so having those 2 degrees, I think, are going to be major for me in my life and my future family's life.
All right, so Justin, this Sunday, Temecula Valley Buick GMC, 1 p.m. to 5 p.m., the big fundraiser charity car wash for Chaparral High School football. They're going to have the truck pool. There's going to be, food trucks, I think, out there as well. There's going to be all kinds of stuff going on. So one final sales pitch. What would you say to everyone out there that might live in and around Temecula to come on out?
Yeah, just please come by, say hello, It's a friendly environment, and everything's going to Chaparral Puma football, and so we want to get as many people as we can, and give back to the people that helped me get my feet at USC. So come out Sunday, hang out for 20 minutes to an hour, or however long you need.
Awesome. That is Justin Dedich, the pride of Chaparral, the starting USC center here on the Inland Sports Show. Justin, I always appreciate the time, man. You've done my show a bunch in the past. I know you're a busy guy. You're a big-time football player, but we do appreciate it, man.
Thanks, Pep. Thanks for having me.
You got it. That's Justin Dedich, everybody. All right, that's Justin Dedich, everybody. You can see him on Sunday at Temecula Valley Buick GMC. When we come back here on the Inland Sports Show at Home Edition, we got a really cool local swim story we want to share with you. Plus, a local basketball star from San Bernardino Valley College signs with CBU. So he's heading just down the road from the Wolverines to join the Lancers. That's next here on the Inland Sports Show at Home Edition.
What up, y'all? It's your boy Boost Man here with a quick 2 cent. Athletes, if you have a coach who tells you things that you don't want to hear, makes you feel like they don't care even though they keep engaging you, doesn't take your excuses, holds you accountable for your actions, challenges you to do more and doesn't gas you up to make you feel special, then you have a coach who genuinely cares about you and has high expectations. Growth isn't always pretty, and good coaching won't always make you feel good, but it's important to know what it looks like so you'll know who's always looking out for you. Boost Man.
The Inland Sports Show is proud to partner with Dr. Marcus Paulson and Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Dr. Paulson and his team work with children, teens, and adults using orthodontic products like traditional braces and Invisalign to make a difference in the appearance, comfort, and function of each patient's teeth. Paulson Orthodontics welcomes new patients, so schedule a visit today. Paulson Orthodontics. We make braces fun.
The City of San Bernardino has implemented a new low-cost sidewalk vending program in hopes of expanding opportunity for community members to start sidewalk vending safely and lawfully. We want everyone to have access to the economic benefits that sidewalk vending brings, but we want to make sure that our sidewalk vendors know the do's and don'ts when it comes to our city. We must make sure that vendors are keeping our residents safe by following general health and safety standards and by following all city rules. Like, did you know to legally sidewalk vend in the City of San Bernardino, you'll need a seller's permit? What about the $1 million general liability insurance that you are required to have? Don't let this scare you. When all is said and done, the cost of the annual permit will either be $64 or $154. We want to help in every way we can when it comes to vendors lawfully running and growing their small businesses. But those who operate without the proper permits can and will be cited. Citations can run anywhere from 100 to a misdemeanor, and repeated violations can result in the confiscation of items needed to sidewalk vend. We do not want this to be you. So, if you have any questions or concerns regarding the new sidewalk vending program, please call us at 909-384-5035, where staff will help you navigate your way to becoming a safe and permitted vendor in our city.
PG-13, Paul George, who's out with an injury right now with the Clippers. Now, Kawhi Leonard is healthy, and he is playing, and he dropped 38 on Phoenix as they won 115-110. But again, a shorthanded Clippers team because of injuries, getting the job done on the road against the Phoenix Suns, who even though Phoenix, Patrick, they're the number 4 seed in the Western Conference, but I think most people would say Phoenix is probably the scariest team in the Western Conference if they can put it together with all that talent, including Kevin Durant. Padres have a couple of guys getting set to come back, and I'm talking some minor league baseball, Patrick, because Fernando Tatis Jr. is tearing up AAA, hitting home runs left and right. He's going to be returning to the Padres soon. And also, Joe Musgrove, an all-star pitcher for the Padres, just made a rehab assignment for the Lake Elsinore Storm last night against the Inland Empire 66ers. Now, I will say the 66ers touched him up a little bit, but Musgrove is going to be back in the Padres rotation pretty soon. So the Padres, they're getting some guys back, and not just some guys, some really good all-star caliber guys to the lineup soon.
Yeah, so now we can kind of see where they're at. I mean, we know they've been building. Looks like they're going to put a team together.
Inland Sports. And you can check out me and my boy Patrick in the morning on KCal 96.7 FM every Monday and Thursday morning. All right, as we wrap up this edition of an at-home Inland Sports Show, a couple cool things we wanted to pass along. One would be a very interesting swim story from Arroyo Valley High School. The Hawks have, on the boys team at least, have not lost all season long. They are undefeated. And that guy right there, Ulysses Hernandez, a senior in the butterfly, has not lost a single race in the butterfly all season long. So the Hawks have a big meet coming up against Summit this week to not only win an undefeated league championship and undefeated regular season, but for Ulysses Hernandez to go undefeated in his event, his specialty, the butterfly, this season. We have an interview with Ulysses right now on IEMG, so you can go and check that out. That's the IE Media Group YouTube channel. And speaking of IEMG, coming up this Saturday, we will be back at San Manuel Stadium, the home of the Inland Empire 66ers, for another edition of the County Clash. And we got the middle game coming up on Saturday. It's a 4 o'clock first pitch between Cajon and Beaumont, live on the IE Media Group YouTube channel. So Citrus Belt League Baseball, Cowboys and Cougars, live from San Manuel Stadium right there on IEMG. So I hope you will join us this Saturday at 4 p.m. And finally, some big basketball news here locally. First off, Andy Newman, the head basketball coach for Cal State San Bernardino, who led the Coyotes to a school record 31 victories this season. He got them all the way to the Final Four. Well, of course, he was going to be a hot commodity, and Cal State Northridge got him. They got Andy Newman from CSUSB to be their new head coach at CSUN, which is Division I. So that is a good jump. So congratulations to Coach Andy Newman, who was an associate head coach at Cal State Fullerton. So he's very aware and knows the Big West Conference very well. So now he's a head coach in the Big West at Cal State Northridge after a tremendous run with Cal State San Bernardino that culminated this past year with that run to the Final Four. And finally, big news, CBU, California Baptist, picking up a big-time recruit, and he came from, well, just up the freeway at San Bernardino Valley College. The Lancers picking up Dominique Daniels. Dominique Daniels, the leading scorer in Southern California, was part of those Wolverines basketball teams that went to back-to-back Elite Eights, and he was a big reason why, running the point and scoring a bunch of buckets. Again, helping SBVC win another conference championship, get to the Elite Eight, and now he's going to take his talents down to CBU. So we'll get to see Dominique Daniels locally for a couple more seasons, and we're expecting to have an interview with Dominique on the next Inland Sports Show, so make sure you look for that come next week. Again, our director, Johnny Nunez, is in Las Vegas at NAB. That's the big National Association of Broadcasters Convention. So he's out there, but we will be back in the Teen Vision TV 16 studio next week. My name is Pep Fernandez. We appreciate you tuning in. God bless you, everybody. Stay safe out there, and we will see you next time on your favorite show, the Inland Sports Show. Good night.
And this segment of the Inland Sports Show is brought to you by Ken Sporting Goods in Norco. #1 in the Inland Empire for team uniforms, sports equipment, and Letterman's jackets. Boost Performance Training in Corona. Athletes of all levels and all sports train at Boost. And also ask about the Bass Private School. And Paulson Orthodontics in Redlands. Personalized treatment you deserve from an orthodontist you can trust.